Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome everyone to today's Explainer. We're about to embark on a journey through one of the most fascinating, beautifully perplexing, and deeply philosophical ancient texts ever written, the Book of Ecclesiastes. This text doesn't pull any punches, you guys. It goes straight for the jugular of the human condition, tackling the absolute deepest meaning of our existence. If you're a focused learner who has ever felt totally overwhelmed by the relentless pace of modern life and wondered what it is truly all for, this explainer is absolutely for you. Let's get started.
So, what profit has a man from all his labor under the sun? Just let that sink in for a second. Think about your own daily alarm clock going off. Think about the endless emails, striving for that promotion, the mortgage payments, just the relentless, everyday hustle. We are constantly working, constantly building, constantly striving. But honestly, what is the actual tangible profit of all that exhausting labor when we zoom way out to the grand scale of the universe? It's a profound, almost unsettling existential question, isn't it?
Section 1. Introduction to the book.
To really grasp the gravity of this text, we first need to take the first step of our existential arc and establish exactly who wrote it. We're looking at a text from the wisdom literature of the Old Testament. The text identifies the author using the Hebrew word kohelet. Traditionally, this is understood to be King Solomon, a historical figure absolutely renowned for possessing unimaginable wealth, power, and unparalleled wisdom. But notice how he refers to himself here. He's not primarily calling himself a wealthy king sitting on a lofty throne. No, he's a kohelet, a word that translates to the gatherer, the teacher, or the preacher. This is someone who has literally seen it all, had it all, and actively, meticulously gathered this vast wisdom not to hoard it, but to assemble us together and share it. It's like he's stepping down from the very peak of human achievement just to be our guide through the complexities of life.
Let's move to Section 2, the vanity of all things, and see how this builds.
All right, we are hitting the core philosophical problem of the text now. And I gotta warn you, it starts with what feels like a highly pessimistic premise. Listen to this. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. That is Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 2. You can just feel the sheer weight and gravity of those words. The central theme here is that without a higher perspective, without the lens of the Creator, just looking purely at life as it exists under the sun, everything feels entirely, inescapably meaningless. It's this relentless cycle that seems to lead absolutely nowhere.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the original Hebrew word used here, hebel. When we hear the word vanity in English today, we usually picture human ego, pride, or someone looking in the mirror a bit too long. But that is not what hebel means. Literally, it means a breath, a puff of air, an ephemeral vapor. So the teacher isn't saying life is full of arrogant people. He's pointing out that life is fleeting, entirely temporary, and fundamentally impossible to pin down.
The teacher is brilliantly illustrating a dual meaning here. Trying to find ultimate, eternal meaning in earthly things is exactly like trying to catch a physical breath of smoke with your bare hands. You can see it, you can smell it, it's floating right there in front of you. But the exact second you close your fist around it, poof, it slips right through your fingers. It's completely ungraspable. It's temporary and totally meaningless without the Creator. And because we so often don't realize life is a vapor, what do? We completely exhaust ourselves trying to capture it. We chase wealth hoping it'll secure us. We chase wisdom hoping it'll save us. We chase power. We chase fame. We chase endless superficial joy. We run and we strive and we hustle. But the teacher points out that no matter how fast you run, none of these earthly pursuits can provide eternal satisfaction. They will all fade away just like that puff of smoke. It is an utterly exhausting way to live, right?
And this brilliantly illustrates Section 3, time and seasons.
Let's transition away from the sheer futility and exhaustion of human effort for a second and introduce the great, uncontrollable equalizer of all mankind, the one thing literally none of us can outrun: time. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. Just take a breath and notice the shift here. After all that frantic, exhausted chasing of the wind, the text brings us into this profoundly calming, rhythmic reflection on the cycles of existence. It's a beautiful, contemplative reminder that life flows in ancient patterns that are so much larger than ourselves.
There's this unavoidable rhythm to life. The text continues to list them. There are times to be born and times to die, times to plant and times to uproot. The teacher is showing us that these seasons, they are entirely out of our control. And while that might sound a little frightening at first, it actually offers a tremendous, profound sense of freedom.
It frees us from the crushing, exhausting pressure to constantly try to orchestrate our own eternal legacy. We are part of a much larger design, and we just don't have to control every single outcome.
Which brings us to Section 4, the conclusion of the matter. And here is where the text pulls the ultimate bait-and-switch on our expectations. If you stop reading halfway through Ecclesiastes, you might think it's a deeply depressing book. But it takes all of that deconstruction and builds to something incredibly, powerfully uplifting. So the crucial point is this. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep His commandments, for this is man's all. It's such a warm, resolute, and deeply encouraging call to action. After stripping away all our false hopes and those exhausting, vaporous pursuits, the teacher rebuilds our foundation. This is the ultimate purpose. This is the solid ground.
The ultimate takeaway of our explainer today is this. Yes, life is short. Yes, it is a fleeting havel, a vapor. But because it's a vapor, we shouldn't despair. Instead, we're freed. We are completely free to respect the Creator, to revere the divine, and to actually find deep, genuine joy in our present work and the simple gifts of today. We don't have to carry the heavy weight of eternity on our shoulders. Frankly, that is God's job. Our job is to live well right now in the season we're given, in reverence to Him.
Which brings us to our final thought. Since life is a vapor, how will you choose to spend your breath today? Will you spend it frantically trying to catch smoke, stressed out and exhausted? Or will you anchor yourself in the Creator and find true joy in the exact season you are in right now? I really hope this explainer leaves you grounded, inspired, and eager to explore these ancient philosophical truths even further. Take a deep breath and make today count.